Hi everybody, this is Apple Dolly. I am Jenna and welcome. Today is number 2 on our nativity. Yesterday we did Mary and I pulled her hair out from underneath of her headscarf. So this is Mary. Today we're making Joseph. Tomorrow we're doing baby Jesus and the nativity and the manger. So let me know when you're on here. Say hi. And if you see this on replay, put replay in the comments. Remember, we are doing a contest for the whole month of November. Anything that we have made on our videos, the 2 top contributors will be able to choose something that we've made as a gift. But you have to like, share, and comment, all 3. So, and that's anything on Apple Dolly. So, some of you have been really pulling up old things that I have made way back, and yeah, even refreshing my mind of what I've done over the years. So, but you have to like, share, and comment. So today we're doing Joseph, and we're using basically the same supplies, except we're adding in the real thin jute from Dollar Tree. We're going to use this wide stuff too, this thick one. Or you can use the nautical rope from Dollar Tree. My Dollar Trees didn't have it, so I've got this. So we're also using the real thin jute. You can pick up these a pack of these little white beads. They're like little squares. For some reason, this time I picked these up. These are dark. Usually they're just plain wood. But we need 1 of these. And I've already did a whitewash on it. We need a stick. This is 14 inches long. I went out in my yard this morning. Hi Diana. I went out in my yard this morning and grabbed this. We're still using the flour sack towel from yesterday, and it is 15 by 25. And we have a piece of muslin. It is 13 by 21. And we're adding in another little piece of fabric. Now this is different colors than the other 2. It's just a little bit of a tan. And it is 4 by 10. So those are the dimensions of your fabric. And I've already glued his head on. So all you do is, on this bun foot, there's a screw. Just take a pair of pliers and twist it out. One of these bun feet I could just twist out with my fingers, so it wasn't in there very well. But we need a 14-inch table leg that I got from Dollar Tree, and I cut it down 1 inch, so it is a little taller than Mary because we cut her down 2 inches. So we are going to whitewash this also, just like we did Mary yesterday. And the chalk paint that I'm using is a homemade one, and that recipe is pinned to the top. It's the one with the baking soda, and I added a little bit more water to it so I can have a wash because I want to see the wood grain. So these table legs were they were $8.98, and the bun foot is a small bun foot, and it was $2.78. So if you're going to do the whole entire set, like, because tomorrow we're doing baby Jesus in the manger, it's going to cost you about $40 to do a set. Now, if you have an old table, an old chair, tear it apart. Get your spindly legs. your carved legs off of it. So I'm just putting this on, and it is very watery because that's what I want. And I'm taking a baby wipe and wiping it back off. So we're just getting a very little bit of paint. Now doing it this way, it'll be dry in 5 minutes. So I'm just using a baby wipe and wiping some of the paint back off. Now you can do this a solid white if you want. You can make your own chalk paint with the plaster of Paris. The one I have listed up on top, it's pinned. It's a solid color. You can use plain white paint. Walmart carries chalk paint. Even Lowe's carries chalk paint. Now we got our table leg and our bun foot from Lowe's. And if you go on yesterday's post, all of the listing is there for everything we've used. The Flour Sack towel I got from, well, I got a big pack of them from Amazon. But you can pick those up. Dollar Tree does carry them if you can find them. But I use Flour Sack towels a lot. So if you find them at Dollar Tree, grab a few of them if you're going to be crafting along. And please, if you make something, let me know. Send me pictures, post it, and I'll approve it, because I am working on a page for you to share on. We're having a bit of an issue. So until I get that done, we'll just post it right on the Apple Dolly page. But yeah, a table or an old chair from thrift store, or hey, you can pick it up in someone's trash even. If they've got the curved legs on it, grab it. Because they're nothing to tear apart. So that's what we've got, just the wash. So, because I still want to see all that wood grain. I'm going to set this aside because I've got one that's totally done. And so we're not all sitting here watching paint dry. Okay, put the lid on this because I know if I don't, I will knock it over and have paint everywhere. And then you're going to see me cry online. Okay, here's the one we got done. He's completely dry. Now some of these absorb, I've noticed, because I've painted quite a few of them, absorb the paint faster than the others. Like Mary is just a real light wash. This is a darker. It took the color a lot more, but you can still see the wood grain through it. Now if you put too much paint on it and you're like, I don't like that, just take sandpaper and just hit the high spots on this so that you bring back the wood grain. That's a really nice look too. So we're going to start with his hair. So we did, I forget how long we made Mary's hair yesterday, but we don't need his this long. So I'm going from what would be the shoulder to the shoulder. Let me see how long this is. About 7 inches. And we're going to cut a few of these. Because just like yesterday, you don't have to do the entire head, because not much of the hair is going to be seen. Now there's a couple, we're going to give him a beard. And I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can do a beard so you can whatever you like to do. I'm going to cut some of these. Now we'll probably end up giving him a haircut after the fact. Okay, we're going to set these aside, and I'm going to take 2 strands. Let's see. Okay, we're going to do a strand for his beard about 8 inches. Now we're going to trim that off. Okay, we got 8 inches. Let me move him out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to cut strands however long you think the hair should be. So you can hold it up to him. That looks right. What is this? This is 8 inches. So, but we're going to trim this up. So we're doing this beard 2 ways. Because all the pictures you see of the men back then, they all had beards. Whether they did or not, who knows. But I'm sure they did, because they didn't have too many ways to shave. And then facial hair back then was, long hair anyway, was what they did. Okay. So what we're going to do is take 1 strand and we're going to spread it out on our table. These other ones we're going to fold in half and try and get your ends even. But like I said, we're going to give it a cut. And we're going to put it underneath of this strand. We're going to put it underneath the strand and pull it through a loop. Just like that, like you're fringing. So we're going to do that all the way across. And it'll be a little wild to start with, but we'll tame it down. But keep track of which one of these strands is your main strand that you're going on. Otherwise, it will be a little crazy. So we're just folding in half, putting it underneath of our main strand, and pulling the ends through the loop. And you want to pull these kind of tight. So we're going to put a couple more of these on, and then we're going to measure, see how far we have to go across. Because that bun foot isn't that big. Let's see. Nope, let's do a couple more. And we're going to put it across. Nope, we need at least 2 more. And then we're going to, like we did Mary's hair yesterday, we're going to pull all these strands apart. And then we're going to trim the beard up to give it some shape. Now we're making Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, and the manger. But you could continue on and do the wise men. You could get as creative as you want with this. Get my knots going the right way. So we're going to, I know it looks wild. We're going to tame it down because we're going to take each one of these strands, untwist it, and then pull each strand out from the twist all the way up to our main string. And this goes pretty quick once you get started. But don't do your main string. Don't untwist that one. We need that one solid. And it's very easy to lose that main string that you got all of this on. So that the wastebasket gnome that we made has been flagged because I had music in the background playing. You could barely hear it, but they picked up on it. So I'm not sure if they're going to take it off or not. So if they do, I'll redo it without music. So yeah, it's a copyright thing. It takes me almost all day to prepare for one of these lives. Now once we get this back up on him, if these are too many, we can just pull them right off the edge. Okay, let me push these together. So I'm pushing these together really tight. And I'm just taking my fingers down through them. Now you can take a hairbrush at this point and comb it out. I forgot to bring one. I use a dog brush that I picked up at Dollar Tree for these kinds of things, and then you can just brush it out and get even more of the fibers separated. So there we go. And he needs a trim. So this is one way we can do a beard, just like that. So the other way is you want to untwist. You know, I'm going to use 2 strands of this. Put these together. You want to untwist the center. Pull it apart in the middle. Pull all these apart. I'm going to put 2 of these together, so I'm going to pull them apart together. And you just want to pull apart a little bit of it. Now the nautical rope would be perfect for this. So we're going to put it up to him. Let me hold this. And we're going to pull these parts pull these apart. Probably easier if it was glued on there, but we don't want to glue it because we want to choose our beard. We're going to pull all these little strings apart. So he has just a little bit of a beard. Thanks, Di. So which one do you like? This beard or this little bit of a beard? I'm thinking this one. So we're going to put a dab of glue right where his ears would be, and then a little bit right at the bottom of this bun foot. Then we'll see if we need any more glue. So it's just a little bit above where it curves up, where the ball curves. That's where I put the beard. And I'm holding this. So we might have to put some more glue on there. And we're going to clip these other ends off. I'm going to lift this up and put a little bit more glue up underneath it there. Like right where his chin would be. And it'll also help it from being wild. So all I did was, I have one side shorter than the other. I wouldn't make a very good beautician. I curved the ends into the middle, but this side's still longer. So, you just keep cutting and eventually you run out of hair. There. Before I cut these, I'm just putting a little bit more glue underneath of the string by his ear. And I'm just going to clip these off because his hair will cover these. Okay. So then we're going to do his hair. So we're going right where the flat part starts curving over. That's where we're putting our first piece. Okay. Well, we're going to start in the middle and work toward that front. But I'm putting glue all across the top part, and I'm going just a little bit past the middle. Try and get these straight. So I just went, the first piece is just a little bit beyond the middle, and then we're working forward right to where that curve starts, right there. So I'm holding up the first piece I put on so I can get the second piece straight. So I got both ends the same. And that's what I'm going to do all the way across. And then we can give him a haircut if he needs it. I know, it's wild. Gotta glue it a little bit on the sides. Right where the ball starts going over. And we're going to pull these apart too. Now when you put your last piece on, ouch, when you put your last piece on and you find out you have glue in the front, take another piece and push it into that glue and push it back, and then you get rid of that glue. So I'm just going to untwist all of these. And all this does is give him a little bit more hair. So right where the beard is glued on the side where his ear is, we're going to glue the hair right there also. And that will cover all that up and stop this hair from looking like he's in a windstorm. Or look like he just got out of bed like I do in the morning. Tony makes fun of my hair in the morning, and I told him I worked all night to get that hairstyle. He shouldn't laugh at me. Okay, let's glue this a little bit right here. And when I put my dot glue on, I'm taking the tip of my glue gun and spreading it. Oops, I got one side longer than the other. Okay. I'm gonna fluff up these beards some. That's what we got so far. Okay? And get all these little pieces I just cut. Okay. So we're going to take our towel. I put the sizes on tape. So just like yesterday, I cut it. It's 25 long, so I cut it 15. It's 25 long. Now some of these towels come even longer, so you'll have to adjust the measurements if you get the longer ones, but this is 25 inch. And I cut it to 15 inches in length. So just like yesterday, we're going to just a little bit off the table. And we're going to fold it over. And we're going to take this and we're going to fold it back. Now this can be even on both sides, because yesterday we had Mary's longer on one side. This can be the same. So I'm just adjusting it. Okay, so we're going to take our cut edge, and this is our cut edge, and we're going to fold it back until you got to his forehead, right here. So you want to see the hair a little bit so you can pinch it. Okay, so you want to see his hair right there. And we're going to glue up underneath. And then this fold we made, we're going to put a little bit of glue there. Just so it'll hold. Okay? So that's what we've got so far. So we're going to take each end and we're going to twist right here, like right in the middle of his face. We're going to grab this, see right about the middle, and we're going to twist it about 4 times back, just like that. And we're going to glue right up underneath of the twist, and that will hold that. And then we're going to put another little bit of glue right up underneath it here, and that will hold it to his head. Just like that. So we're folding it back, and we're doing that to both sides. So you want to see that twist right there. And then the length will just fold right in. No, I have more on one side than the other. So just hold that. So this is what we've got so far. So we're going to take this little twine that we have from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take 2 pieces of it, probably about 12 inches. We'll probably trim this again too. And we're going to take it from the center and we're going to twist this both ways. Just take your finger and twist it. Just the center. Just right in here. We're going to take it right at his hairline and we're going to wrap this around and tie it in the back. You want it just a little bit down on his forehead. Just like that. So we're going to tie this and then we're going to put a dot of glue. And we need a very little dot of glue because you don't want that to show. Now you can have these as long as you want in the back. But I'm just tying a knot. If I can get my fingers to work. Now right up underneath this knot, I'm putting a dot. Because we don't want this, it'll slide off if you don't. And then right at his forehead, I'm just barely putting any glue. Now the 2 colors of rope are different, so you get that contrast. See that? And then there's the back. Now you can have these longer. I just think that's long enough. So we're going to take this little wood cube. Let's see which side we want to snap on first. I think right there. So you want it almost touching your table. Thanks, Di. You want it almost touching your table. Now I'm talking 1/8 of an inch off of the bottom. So we're going to take this cube, pull his hairdress back, and we're going to glue it right to the side because this is not going to be seen. So just glue it right there. So I painted it so it will, if someone starts looking at it, it kind of blends in. Make sure your hair's not in this or his beard. I'm just going to hold it there for a second. Okay, we're going to take our staff. Find out on the bottom, because you want it angled across his body, not totally in the front, but you want it just a little bit of an angle from where his shoulder would be down to where, like, this is the right where his right foot would be. And we're going to put a dab of glue down here, just at a little bit of an angle. Now we're going to hold this because my stick is pretty straight, but you can't get a totally straight stick in nature. So I'm going to hold this. And I'm going to let that set up. We're not attaching it to his shoulder yet. We're going to take this 4x10 piece of fabric, and I don't even think we're going to use that muslin. Now it's got raw edges all the way around it, so we're just going, let me move him while he sets up. We're going to take this glue and do a hem. We're going to fold this over. Now I'm folding this in about 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I just folded it over and glued it. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. So this is going to be a sash down the front of him. So this is, let me get the measurement. About 2 inches wide. So all we did was take the raw edges and fold them in. Okay? I'm going to take this edge and we're just kind of going to pleat it, just gather it, just like that. See? Just push it inward. And we're going to put some glue right across this edge and right inside the pleat. And we're going to take this up to where this wood block is, and we're going to put it on that wood block. And you can lap it over the wood block just a little tiny bit and glue it on there. Now we're going to pleat the other end the same way. So we're just pushing it together. Okay? fingers out of the way. Now we're going to put this up under where we're going to cross it across his body, but we want the edge up underneath of where his headscarf goes. So it's like toward the back. See? It's like toward the back on this side. On this side, it just goes right up over that cube. Okay? So let's fix these headdress again. So this is puffed out from his body just a little bit. You want to puff there. It just gives it a little bit more like eye candy. So we're going to take this staff now and we're going to push it into that wood cube and we're going to glue it. Because my stick's not totally straight, I knew it wouldn't stick. So there you go, so far. So I like that beard. I liked it better than the other one. I'll pull some of his hair out because we have to fix his headdress again. But we have to hold this stick on that glue. So we're going to bring his headdress around. Now this puddles on the table a little bit. Even though we raised it off, it still puddles. But I don't think that's a bad look. Now you could put another layer of headdress over. Like this, you could have a double layer if you wanted. I like the single layer. I gotta hold my stick. Okay, we're going to pull his headdress around. Now, do we need to glue it? Let me turn him around so I can see. I think I'm going to just put a little bit of glue right behind where the staff is. See where this naturally falls. Yeah. Just push one of those pleats from his headdress into that. So this is our Joseph. So this is Joseph. Here's Mary. Here's Mary. See, she's just a little bit shorter. So tomorrow the video is going to be longer because we have to build our manger. So what do you think? You like? So who would think you could take a table leg and make a manger or a nativity out of it? Pull some of his hair out. Okay. Tomorrow at 3. I figured 3 o'clock. It's after church. Thanks, Di. It's after church, after everybody's dinner. Everyone's sitting around relaxing. Hop on. We're going to build our manger. And we're going to make baby Jesus. So we're using some unusual things for baby Jesus in the manger. But table legs and bun feet is unusual too. So thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. I will post a picture of these two together so you can see. Love you guys. Remember, tomorrow at 3. Thanks, Mom.